Annica Von Mantripp, congratulations on your purple belt promotion recently. Tell us about that first.
Oh, it was so exciting. I got it on Saturday and it still feels quite surreal because I've been aiming for this for so long. And I've been told it's the best belt, and I think I would have to agree because it's the belt where basically all you need. Nah, you know a lot,
Yep.
but you don't have to know everything. So people don't expect you to know everything. They expect that from the black belts. And with the purple belts, you can just go in, do your thing.
Love it.
And
And of course, it's the most unique belt.
I know,
There is no other belt that is a purple belt.
exactly, best belt because I'm purple belt. So whatever belt I
Love it.
am, that's the best belt.
Love it. Well, this is the JECERIS Invitational podcast with Annica Von Mantripp, who is matched against Olivia Marlow in the under 65 kg prelims on the incredible JECERIS Invitational event happening on Saturday, the 6th of December at the Roundhouse in Braddon in the Isle of Man. And the sponsors of the event are Zebra, Hartford Homes, Grow Lab Organics, the Crown Group, Kano Fightwear, the Empress Hotel, Alt Lodge, ELS Group, Isle of Man. So, Annica, let's get on. We are a number of days away. If you're listening to this today from the Invitational, you haven't been to the Isle of Man before. How are you preparing?
I've been preparing, training twice a day, going to the gym 3 times a week, really just trying to keep my cardio up, make sure that my technique's ready, that my A game's ready, practicing what I want to incorporate during the fight, and
Yep.
doing a lot of journaling. Journaling is actually how I help my mind stay
I
sharp.
was hoping you would talk about mindset because, as we all know, this is not just a physical game. This is a mental game. Talk to me about your
Mhm.
journaling.
So, for a while growing up, I had the most awful mindset. I would always be trying to bring myself down. No matter what I did, I would be telling myself I couldn't do it. I would tell myself I'm not capable, I'm not worthy. And then when I failed, I would use that as proof, as the fact that I
Yeah,
wasn't ready. But that is such a misconception because failing doesn't mean you're not worthy, it's how you make yourself worthy.
yeah,
And I figured this out by journaling things I wanted to believe. So I wouldn't write how I felt because that would just be very negative. I would
yeah,
write things I wanted to believe. For example, I would write, failing doesn't make me any less worthy, it makes me worthy. Pushing myself, challenging myself, it will help me learn what works well, what needs work. And then the more I wrote about the things I wanted to believe, the more I started to believe the things I was writing.
yeah.
And it really helped transform my mindset in ways that is quite remarkable.
Yes.
I
I'm
would really recommend it
pleased.
to anyone.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that you mentioned about failing. If there's always memes and things going around on socials that actually it's a privilege to be able to fail
I
because
agree.
it meant you started to try in the first place, and you're not afraid to, maybe not show up as your best or your most, uh, I guess, mindset desirable self with all the winning things. Actually, there's space to learn and there's space to grow, which
I
it sounds
couldn't
like
agree
you're there
more.
for.
Exactly. I think it's a very big misconception that failing is also the same. I think it's a big misconception that failing comes with the idea that you should be embarrassed, that you should be ashamed. But I think not putting yourself out there
Yeah,
because you're scared of failing is more shameful than trying
yeah,
and seeing where you're at. And I think you have to be quite brave to go out there,
yeah,
even with the chance of failure, because I don't think failure is bad. I think failure is necessary. You need to
Yep.
fail in order to succeed, to learn to
Yes.
succeed.
Absolutely. Now, I need to tell you one group of people that aren't failing is the team putting on the JECERIS Invitational. They have pulled out all the stops, and I'm going to keep saying this on every episode. The card looks insane.
I know. I'm so excited. Just to be a part of it is just, oh, it's unbelievable to me. I'm so happy with how far I've come. I was never expecting to do such amazing invitationals so early in my career, and I just feel so
Yep.
privileged and grateful.
Yeah, it is incredible, and they've gone in with a mindset of, it's go big or go home, and they're going big, which is just amazing, and actually showing up with that boldness, the integrity, and the honesty of putting on something really quite exceptional. I mean, it may well put some of us to shame, but that's our own shame that we have to deal with. But all of these things are possible, and it's really putting on display what is possible. And I equally think that you, as an individual, are putting on show what is possible from your perspective or from anyone else's perspective, coming up through training regularly, putting in the dedication, showing up at events, because I've seen you at a number of events, Enyo being one of them, and also when you've been cornering at Endured Professional, which
Yeah.
was fantastic, and it was really nice to see you and meet you in person, because I think that was the first time we actually met.
You know, it was lovely to meet you in person. It was
So
great.
yeah, go on.
Carry on.
Okay, I always, yeah, okay, meeting in person is so much easier to be online. There's my comfort zone. And anyway, let's talk about your kind of strategy. We've talked about your training. It sounds very intense. How are you feeling about the matchup on Saturday?
So, for the first part of my career in jiu-jitsu as a white belt, gi was my primary focus until around blue belt when my old team converted our pro sessions to gi to no gi, from gi to
Yeah,
no gi. Then that became my primary focus, and I was only doing no-gi and then competing in gi as well, so I could keep that side sharp, as
yeah,
sharp as I could without training. And I've recently come back to gi, and it's it's been a humbling experience. Like the grips, it's my hands are not used to this gi
oh,
grip, so I'm
yeah,
building back up strength. And I'm excited to do this invitational because I haven't done an invitational in gi yet. So it's gonna
ah,
be, I know, I've done loads in no gi. This is the first in gi.
yeah,
And I think my A game, my strategy is gonna be completely different to my strategy in gi, in no gi.
yeah.
You'll have to see on the
Well,
day.
yeah, I wasn't gonna press you too much. It does sound like you're keeping your cards close to you for this particular event, which, every athlete has the right to do, which I think, we all have different strategies in the run up to events or invitationals. And yeah, it's an opportunity to showcase all the things you've kind of packed into the number of years you've been training and all of the experience. So the gi, you're having a gi match against Olivia Marlow
Mhm.
in the under 65 kg division. Um, is this, obviously, the gi is something new, and you haven't met Olivia in a match before. So how are you feeling like this is going to go?
I I don't know actually. I know that mindset is key in whatever you do, and you should never go into a fight thinking you're going to lose. So I am, like every fight, I go in thinking I can win. I am capable of anything that I put
Yeah,
my mind to. And on the day, whatever happens, happens, and I'll be proud of myself no matter the outcome, because putting myself out there is the
Yeah.
hardest part with the, because failing actually was a big fear of mine growing up. So doing jiu-jitsu and competing loads is, it's been hard
Yeah.
initially on my mindset, because I would always think I'm gonna fail and it's gonna be embarrassing, but it's not embarrassing. I need to keep telling myself it's not
Yeah.
embarrassing, it's bloody brave. It's tremendous to go
I
out
I
there.
I love this narrative, and it sounds very much like, you know, when you're speaking, you're convincing yourself, and there's an element of kind of parallel narrative that is supporting you on the way. But it will be a fantastic, and it will be a fantastic matchup. I
Yeah,
think
because
there's going to be some, you know, in the kind of build up, you know, some show-stopping kind of performances, because
yeah.
you're not one to shy away from this, are you?
I'm definitely not. I love a challenge. I love putting myself out there, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and giving my best. I will always go and give my best, because I won't be upset with the outcome. I'd be upset if I didn't give all I had.
Yeah.
And that's what I do every time.
And it would be
And
even worse if you hadn't accepted the opportunity, and
exactly.
you would have so much FOMO going, I just want to be there.
I know exactly. The funny thing is, this whole week I've had to be recently, I've been loving chocolate, okay? This has been a bit of my downfall, trying to become a professional athlete. Chocolate is my kryptonite. And this week, with the advent calendar starting, I've been holding
Of
myself back,
course.
and I've been like, "Oh, just to have some chocolate would be great right now." And it's been so hard to step away from that, because I need to be careful with my weight, because we're fighting at under 65. I'm
Yeah.
64 kg this morning,
Yeah.
and with water loading, I'm sure with the gi I'll make it. I
Yeah.
just need to be careful with the chocolate.
Yeah. So
But
we're only a
I've
couple of
got
days
myself a
out.
chocolate. Yeah,
It's
I've got
fine.
myself chocolate for after I win, of course.
That's
Because what
fine.
you tell yourself is very important. Your inner dialogue is so important. People don't realize the impact what you tell yourself has on the way you perform. If
Yeah.
you go in telling yourself that you're gonna fail, that you're not good enough, that you're gonna embarrass yourself, you're not gonna perform your best. But if you tell yourself that you're capable, you're
Yeah.
strong, this is a challenge, this is exciting, you'll go in with a much better focus, a much better drive, and a sharper game, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, before we continue, this is the JECERIS Invitational podcast with me, Lou Temlett, coming to you from the UK. Go and sign up for the pay-per-view over on jacerisinvitational.com/fight-card. If you could do that for me and the show right now, that would be incredible. And as always, check out the clips on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at JACERIS_invitational. So you train at Grapple Collective in London. Talk to me about your training schedule of this twice a day. Some of us only dream of training twice a day, but how are you feeling about it all?
So, I'm a full-time jiu-jitsu athlete, so I'm quite lucky that I get to train so much. I train in the mornings at Grapple Collective, I go home, I do my washing, I make myself food, and then I go straight to coaching, where I coach kids, 4 to 6s and 7 to 11s, and then in the evening I'll train gi. So I'm doing a bit of both, because I don't want to be a one-dimensional fighter. I want to have a
Yeah,
bit of both, you know. And I think they can help each other, but not necessarily. My coach Max, he'll be like, "Nah, nah, they don't. They don't. They're completely different sports." But at the same time, I believe that if you're getting good at guard passing in gi, it
yeah,
becomes easy in no gi, because in gi they can just hold you. whilst you're trying to get past, and you're like, what are you doing, man? From training primarily no-gi, where you
Yeah.
can just slip past people's guards, to gi, where they just grip you, and then you're like, okay, I need to get rid of this grip to make this pass. It makes it easier, I think, in no-gi, because you can just slip on through.
Absolutely. Well, all of these things, are kind of building up to, be support you continuing to be an incredible athlete. Now, talk to me about the style of learning or training jiu-jitsu that you have at Grapple Collective.
At Grapple Collective, we train under the ecological approach, and this approach is where you have game constraints. So, for example, if you are practicing passing, someone will be sitting, someone will be standing. The person standing will have the goal to get past the legs. The person sitting will have the goal of either maintaining guard or to sweep your partner, so go from bottom to top.
Yeah,
And with this constraint-based learning, you are still practicing techniques, but not with the person who's just letting you do it.
yeah,
So you have to fight with these goals and push past people who are giving restraint, which I actually think's better than
yeah,
just aimlessly drilling. But then in the evening classes when I do gi, we do a bit of both. We do the
yeah,
traditional approach as well as ecological training. So we
yeah,
do a bit of drilling, and then we do positional sparring, which I also think's good. It's just whatever you think suits for you.
yeah. And has that always been your style of learning?
No. So
Oh,
in drag, we did the traditional approach as well as like
yeah,
positional sparring, and I I did love it whilst doing it, but that was the only thing I knew. Now
yeah,
that I've converted to the ecological approach, I actually think my progression has been shooting through the roof much quicker
yeah,
than when I was primarily doing the traditional approach,
yeah,
because you're moving in ways where people are giving you obstacles that you have to overcome in real time,
yeah,
and it's much more of a heavy pace than drilling, so it's actually helping your cardio more. So instead of just doing drills back and forth, you're not
yeah,
really putting your heart rate up, but
yeah.
when you're doing it against someone who's trying to stop you from doing what you're trying to achieve,
Hmm.
it's building your cardio, building your endurance. I think it's great.
Yeah. What is the one thing, excuse me, that you've seen change in you over the time, I guess, from kind of through your blue belt? Has there been a significant shift in your physicality, your mindset, your ability? What have you noticed the most in terms of change?
Mindset. 100%. And this is due to my journaling. I honestly couldn't recommend it more to anyone out there, not even just athletes, anyone. I think people usually are journaling negative things about how sad they feel, which I think is good to let it out as well. But when I did this, I kind of would drown myself in the sorrow, like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm so sad, and kind of telling myself that this was okay, by the way, I was journaling. But since I've transformed to
yeah,
try focus on the brighter perspective, I now think in the brighter perspective and think in a more positive way, which has
yeah.
helped me majorly.
Fantastic. I was hoping you would say mindset, but I was also slightly hoping that you'd, you know, say that you've seen a significant increase in your ability to a particular position or some progression as
Well,
well.
my for I think my progression in my ability is definitely my reverse Delahiva in no-gi, and in gi my lasso. I think those, if I can get there, my reverse Delahiva and butterfly. I love that position in no-gi at the moment, and my lasso. I've always loved it. So from white belt,
Love it.
lasso's been my go-to. So since starting back gi, I've kind of gone back to my old ways, and found my love again of the gi.
Nice. That's good. I think we all need to find the love for gi and no gi to be an all-rounded athlete. And this may well be the first of many gi invitationals for you, Annica. Where do you see yourself after JECERIS?
Well, after JECERIS, I'm going to be slowing down with training a little because it's now getting to Christmas, but not that much. I think people really start letting themselves go in December. I'm not taking this as a chance to have. I'm having a rest from competing until the new year after JECERIS, but I'm still keeping myself fit. I'll still be training. I'll still be going to the gym because people wait till January to try better themselves. Where I think, why not try today? Why not
Exactly.
every day you should try better yourself. You shouldn't wait for a certain date because when that date comes, you'll probably start pushing back to a further date. Whereas when you start focusing on making today the best it can be, that's when real transformation happens.
Exactly. No time like the present. So if you haven't already subscribed and bought your pay-per-view link, if you can't make it to the Isle of Man, go and do that right now. What are you most excited about in visiting the Isle of Man, apart from showing up on JECERIS Invitational and having a match in the gi with Olivia Marlow?
I'm excited to see all these incredible fighters display their best work, which I'm sure they will be bringing. And I'm excited to maybe have a little walk around, explore a little, but it's meant to be rainy. But regardless, well, quick, nice little shower, natural shower. Still, I'm excited to fly out by myself and to challenge, like, to focus on my mindset, to focus on journaling, to focus on bringing my best. I'm excited for it all, to be honest.
Incredible. I am very excited to see you on the card, Annica. Having seen you on other invitationals, this is your place.
I couldn't agree more. I love a challenge. Whenever I get invited to go to an invitational, my of course I will. Yes, sign me up. Sign me up.
Always a yes, and no time like the present. And showing up with your new purple belt. How incredible.
I know. Exciting times.
Amazing. Annica, I am wishing you the best of luck. Enjoy the whole experience, as I know you will, with your positive mindset and showing up and giving us a bit of a taste of the Annica show, because I think this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be vlogging through it all. I got this new camera, which I'm so excited about. I got this new microphone. I want to try start showing my journey and try show people how, yes, I have a positive mindset, but not always. I will get doubts, and I want to show people the reality of being a professional athlete.
Yeah, incredible. Well, I will look forward to seeing you on my pay-per-view link on Saturday, Annica, at the Roundhouse in Braddon in the Isle of Man.
I'm excited as well.
Take
Ready to
care,
put on a show.
and I will see you online very soon. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for telling your friends about this show, which of course you have told your friends about this show. And go and follow all the sponsors that are in the show notes if you're not already. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the JECERIS Invitational Podcast.